Hey everyone! Okay, so this recipe is a tarragon chicken salad. This is one of our favorite recipes and it's great to just have in your fridge to snack on for everyday lunches or just a little snack, but it's also great for if you're having a party and you want to serve little finger sandwiches and you want something different, you can cube them up or cut them up into triangles and everything like that, and it makes for great finger sandwiches as well. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a rotisserie chicken that you can pick up from your deli at your local grocer, and you're going to want to obviously debone that and pick all the meat off, and that's as much meat and chicken as the recipe calls for. So what I did was cube that up, dice it. You can shred it if you like bigger chunks of chicken in your chicken salad. It doesn't matter. You can do it however you want. It's a great thing about recipes. It's not illegal to do things the way that you want or add things in that you want to vary the recipe. So I knew that nobody would want to sit there and watch me cube up veggies, cut them, wash them, slice them up, debone a chicken. So I've already done all my prep work. So we have our cubed up chicken, and what the recipe calls for is actually have my handy dandy little recipe card, because I don't have this one memorized yet and the numbers always throw me off. So what it is a half a cup of celery, which actually works out to be 2 big full stalks of celery. Now if you're a celery fan, you can add a little more, whatever. I mince them up because everybody in our household doesn't like huge chunks of celery when they eat chicken salad. So I mince that up, and then it also calls for a half a cup of cucumber. So what it works out to be is usually about a half of a cucumber, and cut them into strips and then mince it up that way. And then it also calls for a 1/4 cup of green onions, and it usually works out to be 3 whole stalks of green onions. And then a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. And I like to double the sauce for this recipe because what I found when I followed the actual recipe that I got from, I think it came from just the Betty Crocker cookbook. It is an amazing recipe, but I found it to be a little dry. And this amount of your sauce that you're going to make is going to make it not completely soupy or wet, and it's just enough to hold everything together. So do double the sauce for the recipe. So it calls for a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. We're going to do 2/3 cup of mayonnaise, and you want real mayonnaise. Do not use Miracle Whip, because a lot of recipes, it really makes a difference if you use Miracle Whip as opposed to mayonnaise for a lot of things. So definitely real mayonnaise. And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice is what you're going to use. And then you're also going to use 1 tablespoon of tarragon. Now I love tarragon. So what you're going to do is you're going to double that if you like tarragon. If not, just use 1 tablespoon, but I actually do 2 tablespoons. And you're going to want a mortar and pestle. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, your hands work just as great. You're going to take, you're going to measure out your tarragon, and you're going to take it and you're going to squish it as hard as you can and rub your hands together so that that releases all of the flavors and the smells in the tarragon, and it's going to make it so that it disperses throughout your mixture for your salad. So if you have a mortar and pestle, we just ground this tarragon up. Like I said, I used 2 tablespoons because I love tarragon. You're going to take that and you're going to want to mix your wet ingredients in a separate bowl than your chicken and your cucumber and your onions at first. So you're going to take in your separate bowl, add your tarragon to your mayonnaise and your lemon juice. You're going to get all of that dust out of there. And then you're going to just mix that up. Now this salad is super important to let marinate for at least a few hours before you eat it. If you can, make it up the day before and it's amazing the next day. Alright, you're going to mix all that in there so we have a lot of tarragon in there. Okay, so now you're going to take your dry ingredients, which is your chicken and your cucumber and your green onion and your celery. You're going to dump that into your bowl, your mixing bowl. And then you're going to take your spatula and you're going to add your sauce and mix that all in. And you can serve it however you want. Now a lot of people like just plain old white Wonder Bread. Me, I'm a huge sourdough fan. So what I like to do is I like to get your sliced sourdough from your bakery, your local bakery, whatever, and you can toast that in your toaster, and I like to serve it that way. And you can also toast your bread for your sandwiches before your company comes over and everything like that, and it stays just as great. It doesn't get soggy or anything like that. Now if you put it in the fridge that way, to keep until your company comes over, I wouldn't suggest doing that because any kind of bread that you put in the fridge gets soggy when you add it to your sandwich. So I wouldn't do that. But toast your sourdough, serve it up like that as sandwich halves, or like I said, you can cut it up into finger sandwiches, and that works amazing, and it looks so cute. You can put cute little pics on there and everything like that. So like I said, the most important part about this recipe is to let it marry in the fridge for at least a few hours, if not, you know, at least a good half a day or full day before you serve it. You can also do variations of the recipe. Now my mom likes grapes and slivered almonds added in there for that little extra crunch. And so you can add that in there too. I don't. I'm kind of simple. I stick to this recipe, and it's just, like I said, it's so nice to have. And what also works really well are croissants. If you can serve them up on croissants, you can even toast your croissants and half them up that way, and maybe put even a half of a grape on top, toothpick it in, so that it makes for a really nice presentation. You can also serve lettuce on your croissants and your sandwiches as well. But the sourdough works really well with this recipe too. So there you go, tarragon chicken salad. It's amazing. It's the simplest recipe. Like I said, I found it in the Betty Crocker cookbook, and I have so many compliments on it. Everybody just loves it. So it's kind of something different to serve at your party as well. There you go.